The Japanese learning advice I see online tends to focus on what a particular expert, like myself, I guess, thinks is a particularly effective, efficient method of learning the language. But almost all of this advice misses the most crucial piece of the puzzle. Let's start at the bottom of this upside down pyramid. Efficiency would mean that you're learning with very little wasted time. So your concepts per hour you're getting in your head is pretty high. For example, you could have a very efficient method of learning the 2,000 or so general use kanji characters' meanings, and following an efficient method like that, maybe you could learn all of them in about 3 months. The problem with efficiency is that it's not very helpful if you're not also doing something that's effective. For example, if my goal is learning Japanese, I need to ask myself, is learning the kanji meanings in isolation an effective use of my time, even if I can do so very efficiently? And that question is a topic for a whole other video, maybe many other videos. But if I decide that that is not an effective use of my time, I should not do it, even if it is efficient. Efficiency is only valuable if you're doing something effective. You want to do something that actually leads toward the goal that you're trying to achieve. For example, let's say you want to get really good at speaking Japanese, speaking in particular. Then an effective study method is almost certainly going to incorporate speaking in some shape or another. Most Japanese learning advice, I think, stops here. Someone discovers a very effective, efficient method in their opinion, and they think that's it. Just do what I just figured out is effective and efficient, and you'll learn, right? And in some cases, I could say, that's what I did, or that's what some university study discovered, that people learn more quickly and more effectively if they do these effective, efficient study tactics. There's just one problem with that. The effective, efficient method being recommended to you might not be something that you're likely to do. Makes sense, right? If you're not going to do it, it doesn't matter if it's effective or efficient. Now, this is not some motivational video where I tell you, work hard, put in the effort, ganbatte kudasai, it's whatever. Motivation is like the tide, it rises and it falls, and it's very unlikely that it'll stay risen for long enough for you to achieve your Japanese learning goals, unless you have some pretty easy to achieve ones, which seems to not be the case for most students. So we can listen to what experts say is a good way to learn Japanese, but before we follow it, we just need to ask ourselves, is this something I'm going to do day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year? For example, let's say some Japanese learning guru tells you, to learn Japanese, you must learn like a baby. And this means speaking from minute 1 of your study. Speaking. And you're watching this guy tell you this, and you think, well, he is really good at Japanese, and his pronunciation is awesome, and native speakers seem to think that he's really good at Japanese also. So I should just listen to him. I should learn like a baby and speak all the time, right? But there are other questions you need to ask. Do you see yourself meeting with a language tutor, for example, multiple times per week, week after week, for years? Do you like talking to a tutor or a language exchange partner, through a webcam? Or do you like driving somewhere to where you do it in person? Do you have the funds to do that enough to where it makes a meaningful impact on your learning? Do you like having a bunch of lessons scheduled on the calendar? I think some people do like that. It's exciting for them. I know that I don't like having things on the calendar. And if you don't see yourself doing those things, that does not mean that you can't learn Japanese. It just means that this is probably not the best study approach for you right now. Maybe it is effective, maybe it is efficient, but if you're not going to do it, it doesn't really matter. I would ask you to find something else, something that you think you can sustain consistently long term. This probably means something that you can enjoy, something that you can afford, something that you have the mental bandwidth to manage in your head. And that might mean studying with a tutor, or side by side with a friend, or even, attending a class somewhere. Or if you're like me, it might mean just going to a cafe and putting on some headphones and listening to music and studying by yourself with some nice music and a very strong iced coffee. We want all the things in this upside down pyramid. That might not be realistic though. At the very least, you got to have the top one. And then, once you've got the top one figured out and you are studying consistently and you think you've found an approach that you can maintain long term, then you can worry about making it more effective. And then once you are doing something and you think it's effective, then you can worry about making it more efficient. I don't know what the right approach for you is going to look like. I would bet money that it's not 100% exactly the same as what I would do for me, and it's probably not the same as what anyone else online is telling you to do. At least not 100%. And that's okay. Figuring out what works for you is part of the fun. And that's it. But please don't go yet, because I cannot have a video where I don't teach Japanese. I have to teach Japanese in all of my videos. I want to play this clip for you, and it's an interview of this guy who goes to Tokyo University, which is a really difficult university to get into. And in the video, he's talking about his study routine and stuff, which was just insane for multiple years. And they're asking him, how did he manage that? So we'll listen to the clip and see how much you understand, and then after, I'll break it down for you. And before we start, I should mention that if it seems too difficult, please check out Native Shark, which is a company that I helped start, because I think it's a very simple, manageable way to get good at Japanese. And if you are using Native Shark, I think you should probably understand this conversation if you're around milestone 10 or so, but it really depends on the person, and you can go in our community and ask about why that's the case. Okay, let's listen.
モチベーションを長期間保つ方法は何ですか？
東京大学に行きたい理由がたくさんあることですかね。理由が少ないと、その理由が解消された時に、もう勉強しなくていいやってなってしまうじゃないですか。僕は20個ぐらい東大に行きたい理由があったので、もう常にモチベーションを保つことができました。
So the question they ask is, モチベーションを長期間保つ方法は何ですか？
モチベーションを長期間保つ方法は何ですか？
So, 何々は何ですか is like, what is 何々? Because 何ですか means what in formal language, and wa is topic marking particle, and then before that is the thing we're asking, what is that? And in this case, it's モチベーション長期間保つ. I can't not talk right now. So motivation is motivation, English. O is an object marking particle, and then 長期間. So 期間 is like a period of time, and then you put the prefix 長 onto the front, means a long period of time. 保つ is like to maintain or whatever. So モチベーション長期間保つ is like to maintain motivation for a long period of time. 方法, so that's a noun phrase, because 方法 is method. So the method for maintaining motivation for a long time, what?何ですか? Okay, I want to translate that as what was your method for maintaining motivation long term? Even though they're asking what is your method for maintaining motivation long term, just because he's already done this and gotten into the college, I'd probably say was, but either way, whatever, is, was, who cares? And then he answers,
東京大学に行きたい理由がたくさんあることですかね。
東京大学 is Tokyo University. に is the destination marking particle in this case. So に行く, like to go to. And then instead of 行く, it's 行きたい, which is want to go. So you take the ma stem, 行く, 行きます, 行き, and put tai on then, 行きたい, want to go. And then again, we have a noun phrase here, but here it's 理由. So want to go to Tokyo University. The reason I want to go to Tokyo University. Ga is subject marking particle. たくさん is many. ある is have. ことですかね. So I suppose you could imagine dividing the sentence into 3 parts. So we have 東京大学に行きたい理由. Reasons I want to go to Tokyo University. Ga is subject marking particle. And then we have たくさんあること. So たくさん is many. ある is have or there is. こと just makes that into a noun. So あること means having. So having many reasons I want to go to Tokyo University. And then he says, ですかね. So, ですか is a question, right? It's a formal question, but he puts ne at the end because he's sort of thinking out loud. So we might translate it as, I suppose the fact that I had many reasons I wanted to go to Tokyo University, or I guess that ですかね. I guess because I had a lot of reasons that I wanted to go to Tokyo University.
モチベーションを長期間保つ方法は何ですか？
東京大学に行きたい理由がたくさんあることですかね。
And, originally I was going to go a little deeper into his answer because he continues after this and he states that he had about 20 different reasons that he wanted to go there. And so even if he loses one of those reasons, he still has a bunch of others. And that way his motivation stays high. And I just thought that was, maybe good advice for some of us out there who only have 1 or possibly 2 reasons for wanting to learn Japanese. But I'll put a link to this video interview in the description. It's a pretty cool interview if you're at maybe more intermediate or advanced level. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching and thank you for your time.
この番組はフューチャーラーニングメソッドネイティブシャークがお送りしました。